Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you are doing well. I'm going to go through some stories. We're going to share the screen real quick here, and I think it's very important to talk about this. I've done some videos about this, but we're going to touch on just a couple of stories, a few stories, and we're going to start here. JBS, a meat and poultry place, roof caught on fire at a JBS USA beef processing facility in Green Bay, Wisconsin. This happened on June 7th. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because this is not the first fire that JBS has had. Ironically, I heard from an awesome subscriber once, a little while back, a few months back, 2 months ago, that said they had a fire and it was extinguished fast. And this one was no different. Said the Green Bay Metro Fire Department responded quickly and found a fire in the roof and smoke inside the rendering area of the plant. The fire was brought under control in less than 15 minutes. Now, I want people to understand this is starting to get very, very interesting how these things are starting. It says right here, it says crews fought the fire on the roof and near an auger that was thought to be in the fire's origination, or be the fire's origination, sorry. The department said in the post, staff on scene had evacuated all personnel prior to the fire department's arrival. The building was turned back over to the plant personnel by 8 p.m. So that's not that big of a deal, right? Then we come across another story today, and or it was yesterday, sorry, a fire at a food plant. And this happened in the town of Belmont. And it says right here, crews from 3 counties respond. A fire broke out on Monday morning at a food processing plant in the town of Belmont near Portage, Wupaka county line. Hopefully I got that right. It was declared a 5-alarm fire, which is a large fire, by the way. And strike teams were paged from Portage. What, man, the ninja doesn't read very well. Washara and Wood counties, according to the mutual aid box alarm system. The fire occurred at the festive food plant. Now, again, another food plant that's going up in smoke. What in the heck is going on? It's absolutely mind-boggling that this stuff is happening more and more. And I think that we have to be very cognizant of what's going on. This is on the heels of the story that I told you about with Smithfield. Was it Smithfield Foods that are closing a couple of plants, and there's rumors that they might be closing a third one in Sioux City, Iowa. Now check this story out, and this is really heartbreaking. Right here, more than 15,000. Now this isn't in America, but I just want to point this out because I just think this is horrible. More than 15,000 sheep drown after live export ship sinks in the Sudan. It says ship Badar 1 sank in Red Sea port of Sukhanin early on Sunday, prompting environmental concerns. 15,000 sheep. That is absolutely mind-blowing. It says a ship crammed with thousands of sheep sank on Sunday in Sudan's Red Sea port of Sukhanin, drowning most animals on board, but with all crew surviving, officials said. The livestock vessel was exporting animals from Sudan to Saudi Arabia when it sank. The ship, Badr 1, sank during the early hours of Sunday morning. It says it was carrying 15,800 sheep. Another official who said all crew were rescued raised concerns over the economic and environmental impact of the accident. The sunken ship will affect the port's operation, the official said. It will also likely have an environmental impact due to the death of the large number of animals carried by the ship. And that's, I mean, to say the least. But it sounds like it's getting crazier and crazier that we are, that these things are happening. And to be honest with you, it's just running up a ton of red flags. Now it says here, he said, the spokesman said livestock owners recovered only around 700 sheep, but they were found very ill and we don't expect them to live long. He also confirmed that the sheep were loaded onto the vessel at Sukhanin port. Absolutely heartbreaking. You know, not only is it sad when you see these animals die in vain, right? Because I like eating meat and protein like any other red-blooded American, but quite frankly, it's sad to think of all these animals aren't going to go to the calories that human beings need to survive. And every time we see more and more of this happening. Not only the animals being found dead, right? But we're seeing these plants that are burning to the ground, literally on like a couple of weeks, every couple of weeks, it seems like this is happening, or maybe even weekly now. And then we see the mainstream coming out and saying, oh, look, we're finding that there's really no significance. This kind of stuff happens all the time. Well, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've been really, really watching the news about world events and earth changes and things like that since 2010. Before that, I was really into financial and economic news. But I gotta say, since 2010, I've never seen anything like this. And if you agree, then you're in good company, because I think that literally people are waking up at an alarming rate. And this is getting very, very serious. I think it's time for us to start to wake up and go, all right, it's one thing to prepare. It's another thing to warn people, right? It's a whole other thing to go, let's put both of those things together and try and really change the world and take advantage of this. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I think this is going to get to be very scary, very, very scary times, because there's a lot of people that don't see this coming. And when they start to run for the exits, i.e. going to the store and buying food because inflation's taking over their pocketbook essentially, or robbing places because they're afraid they're not going to be able to get their next meal, or the panic that moves in, there's going to be a lot of opportunities. There's going to be a lot of opportunities to help people. And so we need to put those two things together. It's one thing to realize what's going on. It's another thing to do something about it. It's a whole nother thing to put those two things together and go, all right, how can I impact this world? Maybe it is you doing a blog. Maybe it is you writing. Maybe it is you doing a podcast. Maybe it's you storing up food for the town homeless shelter or the food bank, right? But the thing is all of us that are in the know that this is going on and this isn't right and that it's going to get worse. When you know something and you do something about it, you have power and authority over that. I want you to understand that. A lot of people would stick their head in the sand, even if they're preparing for hard times. They go, oh, that's it. This is how it's going to be. It's never going to get any better. I heard literally a guy tell me the other day, now the gas prices are up, they're not going to be going down. I'm like, are you nuts? What happened in 2008? And he goes, it went up and it never went down. I'm like, no, you're an idiot. Stop talking out of your butt. Literally, I mean, fuel went up in 2007, 2008, and then demand destruction moved in and took it out. And we saw fuel fall right back down. And we're going to see that again. The problem is we're not out of the woods yet. We have to have more pain before we have a crash, right? A demand destruction event. So I encourage you to keep storing up food, keep warning people, right? But I want to encourage you, you might need to move outside of your sphere of influence, because it's probably not a sphere of influence. If you're warning your family and friends, they're not here to listen to you. I highly suggest you move outside of your sphere to people you don't know. It might be hard at first, but I'm telling you, you will be rewarded. And then, because I know a lot of you are saying, yeah, but I want my family and friends not to suffer. And your prayer becomes, I hope somebody else that they don't know gets through to them. Guys, I hope you have an awesome day. I hope you see these things as signs of the time, but not signs of the time as a defeatist. Signs of the time that you are about to take advantage of the greatest opportunity financially, mentally, and spiritually, because trust me, all of those are about to get tested, that you've ever had before. All right, guys, that being said, have an awesome day. The Economic Ninja is out.